Hey, I'm Justin.
Hey, I'm Sheldon.
Two childhood best friends from North Carolina.
They moved to Los Angeles to play basketball.
Became successful entrepreneurs in fitness
and entertainment.
Throughout our journey,
we've seen a lot of things,
met a lot of people,
gained a lot of experience
in business and life.
Join us as we talk that talk
from NC
to LA.
Southern gentlemen,
the West Coast businessmen. NC
to LA.
Hey, it's the podcast with your boys. All right, so from around the way, fellas. I'm Sheldon Bailey.
Justin Johnson.
All right, Southern gentleman, the West Coast businessman. He always does that. We start and then he has to get up for some reason. I don't know why he keeps doing that. And then he leaves me here.
But it's like two episodes. I've hopped up and just, you know what I'm saying, just wanted to double check. Worst thing is for us to be in here, you know what I'm saying, for an hour and nothing's recorded. You know
yeah, but you know what? We had to have him before, but like, luckily we were recording on like 3 different devices.
Yeah.
So then we was able to like make it happen, Captain. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Cold War is episode 12 number, but you know what? Cold War, episode 12. Episode 12, you know what I'm saying? Don't say, this guy, what does number 12 mean to you?
Man, oh, come on now. That is the number.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So this is a milestone for us, hands down. First few episodes, I think, like, just even with the idea of doing this, we just kind of wanted to see how we would vibe with it. And I think, 12 episodes in, we've enjoyed it. And for some newbies in the podcast game, I think we've done well, man. 12 in.
Cool. We're 12 episodes in, and hopefully y'all rocking with us. You know what I'm saying? Welcome if you haven't, been rocking with us. Appreciate you if you have been rocking with us.
We appreciate everybody tapping in on the NC to LA Instagram.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What's up, Alexis Gaines?
Yeah, thanks for tuning into that. You know what I'm saying? Loving that. Is that Joe? Yeah, what up, Joe? So we talk about our path, our journeys, heavily basketball, hip hop culture, influence, but also very much so this pop culture and business. So you know what I mean? We definitely like to believe that, guys are the people. You know what I'm saying? Man of the people. And so whenever it comes to like business, entrepreneurship, and being able to bring your own individual character, swag, principles into your business, you know what I'm saying? I feel like that's like a good core of like what we talk about whenever we get into business principles, where we come from different backgrounds, political science, Justin.
Criminal justice, for sure.
And we got into, we broadened out into various other things since then.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a natural evolution. You know what I'm saying? Of just things that we've been interested in as kids, and then being adults, having the information and just the go get it type attitude to accomplish some of these things.
Yeah, and so whenever we talk about the Cold War, right? So I'm gonna tie it into what you just talking about right now. So the concept of strategizing, plotting, you know what I'm saying?
Planning.
Seeing what it is, and then doing the work to go towards it and executing the plan and the process. You know what I'm saying?
Most
definitely. Following me? All right. What you got for me?
I mean, I think a lot of times, most things could be accomplished if you plan properly and then you execute. But those two things have to be synonymous. And the reason I say even, plan properly and execute, because if you do that, you can always make adjustments to your plan. You know what I mean? But you can't do that if you don't execute. If you just stuck in a planning phase to where you just like, oh man, well, if this go wrong, we got to have this prepared. And then, it ain't quite ready yet. Let's wait until next week. And we'll have a little more information. And then, you know what I'm saying, we'll go. And then you just keep going like that, but there's no execution.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like both of those have to be synonymous. You have to have action behind your planning. And the thing is, if you mess up, you can fix it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's impossible to repair if you never take the effort to, you know what I'm saying, go out and do something. So planning and execution, two things that are important. And honestly, if you're willing to continue to, like, you know, make alterations to your plan, you know what I mean, just slight changes, then you'll eventually get to your destination of, you know what I'm saying, whatever you consider success.
All right, so we about to tie this in to Cold War, espionage, spy games. All right, so whenever people, the term Cold War is for like a strategic war that is more like underlying, right? Now we're in general, for real, literally like America versus Russia, specifically like from 70s to 80s to now. I mean, pretty much since the early 1900s, really. But anyways, Russia, you know, but they both have such strong military forces. Like, the world can't really afford for them, and they can't really afford to just go straight ahead up and just blast guns and drop bombs, because it's a wrap.
No, not at all. I mean, and a lot of it is what I guess what mental warfare it will be. Would it be considered that?
A certain aspect of mental warfare, but I definitely think it is a certain level of intelligence and strategizing for sure, where you bring in various elements to affect the other party, you know what I'm saying, the other country, whatever it is, without it being just out there, overt, public, things like that, things on the low, you know what I'm saying, underneath. You got to have a plan, you know what I'm saying,
low-key
overall
politically
game plan.
nitpicking.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You know,
it's political. It's political warfare. You know, things that are done behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Back rooms. You know what I mean? Killings.
Torturings. You know what I'm saying?
Torturings. Economic warfare.
I mean,
little business deals. Bong bong.
Even the aspect of the Brittany Griner situation. You know, even though, you know, she. From the aspect of breaking the law, she broke the law, okay? Understood, right? But the severity of, you know what I'm saying, her sentence and everything else, I personally feel like it's a chess move.
Of course.
You know what I mean? It's not like, you know, well, you know, if somebody in Russia was to do this, I know for a fact it wouldn't be this type of punishment, for sure.
No, they don't make it.
But it's a chess move.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, remember the movie Undisputed with Wesley Snipes, where he was in prison over in there was boxing. Michael Jai White. Actually, so the first Undisputed was Ving Rhames and Wesley Snipes. But then Michael Jai White, he was supposed to be a heavyweight fighter, and he got hemmed up over in Russia, and they had him fighting underground.
Oh, yeah.
He was fighting underground, you know what I'm saying, underground for the big money and all of that stuff, but he was a prisoner. And they like did him like bogus, like it put him up with some bogus charges and did that, right? And so that's a movie. But anyway, Brittany Griner really lived, but for real, Brittany Griner really living this, she really living this life.
Yeah.
Right now, where she's caught up in the politics of the times. And unfortunately for her, Russia has just invaded the Ukraine, and the United States is opposed to that. So, you know, it wasn't a smart move to do anything illegal in Russia at that height in time. But that did happen, and she unfortunately is getting the full weight of the law that they have over there. Other people have, you know, got caught with more and got less time, but unfortunately, timing, which is crucial.
Yeah, I mean,
and is that. Yeah.
Now on the other side, I did see a story because, you know, people were really forcing the racial issue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I saw that there was a white 60-year-old male that was caught with marijuana in Russia.
I saw one with a female too, a couple ounces.
That gave him 14 years. He had under an ounce. Okay. They gave him 14 years, white American male.
Yeah, I saw one with a younger white female. She did like about 9 months. You gonna do some time for the trees in Russia, all right?
But if they can make an example out of you, they
for
will.
sure.
You know what I
and
mean?
if they can put you in the back room and have you fighting to the death over here on closed
Fighting Drake off. If he dies, he dies.
Closed circuit cable.
For the people.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna pray that Brittany Griner, you know what I'm saying, keep her head up and her hands right.
AP, what up? What up, bro?
Yo, shout out, AP.
Barnes.
So then I was watching this other movie recently with Coverbatch. I always mess his name up, man. He's like a goat, bro.
Who's this?
He's Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange.
With the jacket? No.
Doctor Strange, yeah, with the cape and
yeah,
all that.
okay.
But Doctor Strange, he did this movie where he was a British spy, posing that he was a real businessman, but he got recruited to go get some information from Russia because Russia was planning to attack Great Britain, right? But he was really working for the Americans. And so he was going over there and he had a plug over there in Russia and he was like a Russia, like director, high figure in the military, in politics. So he helping him, he giving him the information, but they doing this on the low ski, right? Boom. Everything hits the fan. I think he was posing as I don't know, some British businessman doing, I forget the particular type of business that he was over there for. But anyways, they wound up spoiling one of the plots, and so Russia knew something was up. So the Russian guy was still in Russia, and the British dude got back to Britain. They was telling them, "Don't go back to Russia, bro. It's a wrap. You did your thing, whatever." But he my mans. I can't leave my mans over there. He yo. He go back. He on the plane, fam. They keep the plane on the tarmac. Come pull him off of there. Boom. Give him the worst prison experience for 2 years. But they couldn't prove that he was the spy. They knew he was, but they literally didn't have any proof, so they couldn't really kill him. But he was caught up in the politics of the time, and Great Britain really couldn't go get him, and they didn't really want to trade anybody of importance, because then they would have to kind of admit that they had this spy over there with all of this stuff.
And how long they've had him, what they've been doing to him.
Yeah.
So initially what they were trying to trade Brittany Griner for
a war criminal.
A arms dealer that
Brittany Griner from the WNBA.
Brittany Griner from the WNBA.
How was that
she was going to be traded for a guns dealer from Russia, and that was supposed to be for fair negotiations. So,
that guy, first of all,
so it's almost
that guy's very important.
Yeah,
number one.
It's a real life movie that she's living at the moment.
Yeah, but unfortunately, one day we'll make a movie out of it. But hopefully she can stay alive and survive, and she doesn't have to do the whole 9 years. You know what I'm saying? Really pray that's the case, and we can get some people, get her from over there.
So you think they're gonna make a movie out of that?
Of course, and then you see Dennis Rodman has implemented himself. I'm not really sure what Dennis Rodman's relationships with Russia are that makes him feel like a strong candidate to go help her. But maybe because he has North Korea on the side.
But come on, man.
Sure.
Dennis Rodman really busting political moves.
They might really love Dennis Rodman in Russia, though. Dennis Rodman is actually very well famous and loved.
Okay, I'll say this. On either way, I wouldn't be surprised on what he got done.
Where is he going first, though? Is he going to somebody's office?
He gonna invite somebody to coffee?
This is what I'm trying to say.
What type of meeting do you make?
Well, yeah, that's
I
would like to see Dennis Rodman's plan of going to save Brittany Griner from Russia. Because if it's anything like that movie he did with Van Damme,
oh my God.
Double Team. First of all, I'm a big Van Damme fan. Speaking of international movies and espionage and all that,
he still got a couple out right now.
Oh, he's a goat.
He's a goat. Is still rocking.
Yeah, he's a goat. John Clive Van Johnson is hilarious.
Who was that?
This is John Clive Van Johnson, bro. It's a show where John Clive Van Damme plays himself But basically,
But
his
he's a
whole
twin.
life and his career, he's been a CIA operative.
I think I may have seen the previews. This is on Netflix.
It's on
is
Amazon
it?
Prime, I
Amazon,
think.
okay.
Yeah. Or something like
my
that.
God. That
But
sounds
it's like a
ridiculous,
spoof,
bro.
but it's serious, but it's hilarious,
It
bro.
sounds ridiculous.
It is straight
Sounds
up ridiculous. And guess who is his CIA, his connect?
Who?
Felicia Rashad.
Oh my God.
Felicia
What?
Rashad is the lady that he is communicating with that has been his boss, ordering the hits and doing all of that. And she
That's
gets
crazy.
gangster in there too. If y'all know who Felicia Rashad is, that is
I've seen her in a couple of different
the
movies.
mom from the Cosbys.
Yeah, I've seen her in some black films. I'm glad she's still doing her thing for sure.
Nah, she had some action sequences and everything. She was busting that Jean-Claude. Yeah.
crazy.
On the move too, like
What?
bow, bow, bow. I swear she
Man,
did it.
knock it
She
off,
bent the
man.
corner real quick. She like bam, bent the corner.
Ain't no way Miss Huxtable was busting
Miss
shots
Huxtable,
at the
Claire.
ops on the move.
Claire Huxtable bust. I'm telling you, bong. She shot a pot, and she bent the corner.
Oh my God. Man.
Yep, she was trying to give Jean-Claude out of there. He knew too much. You know, you can't know too much in the Cold War. Strategic. You know what I'm saying? There's no leaks.
Oh my
No leaks. No room for infiltration.
Now, I mean, the other side of this is like, no matter who they put into these political positions,
Yeah.
like the plan still continues. The
Yeah.
execution of these plans continue.
One way or another. They usually sometimes they make an adjustment because it's all about agendas.
Okay,
Different people
right.
have different agendas.
You right.
You know what I'm saying? So if somebody get knocked off or something, you know what I mean? Like,
The agenda must go on.
yeah, you know what I mean? But like, what is it that you need and what is it that you bring to the table?
Mm-hmm.
And so you make an adjustment, make some concessions, and sometimes you might have to kill that plan off and come with some more, some come with from a different angle.
Now, I mean, business wise, you say like as far as I mean, well, okay, so you also got a lot of pride and like loyalty to your country behind it.
Yeah.
To have that type of commitment in business.
That was patriotic. That's what.
Yeah. Patriotism, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in business, I guess those are some things that it lacks. You know what I mean? Like you're not feeling like a true patriot represent your business, or are you? You know what I mean?
It depends on what your business is, and then sometimes we just all feel like Americans.
Yeah.
And feel certain way. Obviously, what that means to people varies. What it is to be an American or what your duty to America is. So people I was just watching an old school movie with Whoopi Goldberg, bro.
Okay.
Whoopi Goldberg is hilarious and just very a talent and just one of the greatest actresses. She's one of the greatest actresses, comedians ever. Definitely one of the greatest black females. She should. If there was like a black female
She's
like
a Mount
actor,
Rushmore.
Rushmore, she on there.
Yeah.
Cause she giving you the range. You know what I'm saying? I was watching this joint called Jumpin' Jack Flash.
All right.
And so this is like back in the day, like old school chat rooms, like in the 80s, early computers. But somehow she get connected, her computer glitching, and this guy he's stuck in Eastern Europe.
Mm-hmm.
He a CIA operative, and so she a regular person, but somehow she try to help him like get from over there, and she get caught up in all this other stuff as an everyday person, human being. You know what I'm saying? So how far would you go to save America?
Yeah, first off,
how far would you go to save America? Her apartment gets trashed. She escapes death multiple times. She really goes out there on the limb. How far will you go to save America, Justin Johnson?
First off, I love America.
Do you?
I wanna put that out there. I
All
love
right.
America. We've traveled a lot of different places, and I don't think it's too many that we would just say like, oh man, I'm willing to just ditch my American lifestyle to go here.
Yeah.
And I mean, we've heard that numerous times, especially during like the Trump reign and man, I'm out of here. But to answer the question, bro, like no. No. I'm not, putting my life, my family's life, You know what I'm saying? Like none of that. I'm not putting any of that at risk. You know, the possibility of having to go off the grid, hide
You
my
gotta
family.
get low.
Yeah,
You gotta get
like
low.
that's a possibility
You gotta
because if
get
you
low,
get
son.
burned, if somebody lets any part of that secret out,
Yeah.
everybody's burnt.
Yeah, now you gotta get low. I thought about joining the CIA for a little bit.
Oh my God.
I did. You know, I was a political science major, and I went to one of the best international relations schools in the country, Florida International University.
Yeah.
We actually had a CIA. My professor was affiliated, if not former director of the CIA, I believe. Yeah, he was. And we had somebody like come and speak to us. They like did like a little.
That's crazy.
And I got an A in that class, so I did well.
Yeah.
He hollered at me. You know what I'm saying? I definitely could have went through the process. I think I was a little bit too much of a rebel though to do that. But I was interested. I love the movies, and actually a lot of the politics that was going on. But these spies are pawns, and you can get your head knocked off real quick. Other than that, a lot of it is also your analyst. So the information and probably the training to be an analyst is also really dope. But then you're pretty much sitting in front of computers and monitors and throughout the day, you know, getting information and creating memos and stuff like that. I learned how to write a fire CIA memo though, government memo. Like I know how to send a memo up the chain. You know what I'm saying? Like boom, I got this information.
So this is a skill that you may have to use.
Yeah, I know how to write memos. Even because you take that into like, all right, whenever I'm sending emails to like, all right, I'm trying to get an agent, or I'm trying to get this person to watch this, or I'm sending something to a sponsor. You want to be like concise, you know what I mean, and get that thing like direct to where it needs to go. The information, boom, boom. All right, bet. So that's they taught us how to write memos in that particular class. That's when I met Maya Angelou. Actually, I met Maya Angelou. I was performing. I was a poet, and so I was performing in college, and I had a test in that class. So I was able to perform, and then I had to go take the test. But I wasn't able to hear the whole. I got to see the beginning of the Maya thing, but I had a dip. Banged out the test. By the time I came back, everybody was leaving. So I was like, dang, man, I missed the Maya thing. I was like, I wanted to meet her because she was busy beforehand.
Yeah.
So on the back end, I'm literally the only person in Golden Panther Arena where we play basketball. I come in through the back door. Everybody's going out that door. I'm the only person in here. Somebody comes back and was like, hey, they come from the dressing room. And they was like, oh, hey. It was like, Sheldon. They was like, here, come here. Hurry up quick. Maya wants to meet you. And I was like, what? So I run over there. I'm just tripping like, they still here? And she want to meet me?
Yeah.
Man, bro, I'm gone. I'm over here. I go through the door. They got her, and she could walk at the time, but she was mad old. And plus, like, people go crazy for Maya Angelou.
Yeah.
Rock star, son.
I mean, I believe it.
Bro, she in the wheelchair, and they wheeling her. She not even wheeling herself. They wheeling her. And it was a good crowd. And the girl walked me through the crowd straight to Maya Angelou. And it was like, Maya, this is the poet. She was just like, hold my hand. Oh. She held my hand. And she was like, beautiful, beautiful spoken word. Yo, Maya Angelou, beautiful spoken word.
Hey, yo,
I was like,
I'm not laughing at Maya Angelou. I'm just laughing at Maya Angelou.
Yo.
So, excuse me.
Listen. Bro, and I was like, thank you. And I just wanted to say so much, but it was like so busy and chaotic. And just the fact that Maya Angelou, the greatest poet of the 20th century,
acknowledged me
and gave me a compliment about my poetry.
Yeah.
And said I was right with it.
Yeah.
So, bro, beautiful, beautiful spoken words. Beautiful.
I dig it.
Like it was.
So, I mean, would you say that's the biggest compliment or the biggest celebrity that's heard you speak that you had
on the poetry side?
Love from?
Yeah, on the poetry side in that manner, for sure. It was I never got to rock in front of anybody at that caliber. I mean, she really was. Rest in peace. Was the prominent American poet.
Yeah. No,
You know
for
what I'm
sure.
saying?
Yeah,
We read her
hands
book.
down.
We read her books in school, and at the time, I'm gonna get even deeper in a second. With like my grandmother had just passed, right? You know what my grandmother mean to me. My grandmother raised me as much as my parents did, right? She was a third parent for me, and so she was very Christian, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But she made certain concessions, and even though I mean Maya Angelou did speak of Christianity and God and things like that, I wouldn't necessarily say she was a Christian artist, right? But my grandmother loved Maya Angelou, loved her, and that's some of the only books that we had in the house that were not religious themed. Her and Della Reese, she loved Della Reese too. She was a big Della Reese fan. But yeah, and so my grandmother had just passed, and I had went to the car straight after talking to Maya. I went to the car and I just was like, holy crap! Like, I just did really good on this test. I can't believe I got to meet her. I thought I was going to not meet her, and then all of a sudden I meet her and she gives me praise. And I was like, I just wish I could have just called my grandma at that moment because I knew she would have been so proud of me and so happy, and I couldn't, man. And I just freaking just cried so hard in the car, bro. I just cried so hard. I don't even know. It's just, it was just a lot of emotions, like emotions of success and accomplishment.
Yeah.
But then also grief.
Yeah.
And sadness and
just missing you. Yeah. I understand.
Yeah, because she's one of them people that encouraged me to speak and do stuff like that, speak in church and speak at school and all of that stuff. And and the thing that I wrote, like it was called Dreams of a Broken Child, and her thing was about like rainbows, and rainbows like inspiring and like keeping you like youthful and stuff like that.
Okay.
So beauty in life, and it was good. It was amazing.
Since you referencing speaking, I gotta give a shout out and show love to the Ranger, the Datgum.
Hey,
my dad.
Hey,
it's his 60th birthday.
Hey, let's go! Happy birthday,
I mean?
Mr. Johnson.
Happy birthday, Dad. I love you, man. He went to a Saints game yesterday. You know he a Cowboys fan. Mom took him down to New Orleans. They went to go see the Saints play.
That's awesome.
The LA Rams.
Yeah.
Chargers, one of them. They played the LA team.
Okay.
So that was cool. And
Ranger Johnson, stay in the fight. Big 60. That's 6.
Stay in the fight.
Yeah, man. But that's huge. 60 years. That guy has been very influential in my life and supportive over time. You know what I'm saying? Shel Shock. The big Shel Shock.
Yeah.
Shel Shock.
For the longest, I said, like, I would never get into speaking or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I knew that I could never bring the energy that my pops brings to his, public speaking.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I just felt like that was just required. And, I just kind of put it to the side. But recently, we've been doing this and just kind of getting your thoughts out a little more, and I appreciate my father for influencing that, so making me a lot more comfortable to do so.
The guy's got great leadership qualities, and I mean you've accomplished and done a variety of things throughout your life that you probably don't really give yourself credit for, honestly. And I could see you definitely being inspiring and educational to a lot of people. And your father's been doing that for a long time. One thing I don't know, a lot of people would be, okay, so a ranger, right? A ranger, this is not like a park ranger. Okay? This is not Hey Boo Boo.
Nah.
All right? This is not Yogi the Bear Ranger.
Not at all.
This is the baddest guys on the planet. You know what I mean? Bad meaning good. As in the most skilled, trained military force in the world. All right? They are America's go-to on the U.S. Army side. All right? You got the Rangers, special forces, but the Rangers are the special forces. You know what I'm saying? You got SEALs, All right, but we're not talking about them right now. But then also, then you got the Israeli, I think it's Mossad.
Mossad, yeah.
Oh, the Mossad, they crazy. And obviously, you got the Russians. You know what I'm saying? Coming through what they coming through. But his pops is a Ranger. It's very tough, very hard training to get through. Ranger school is only like some small percentage of people that even try get to make it. So that's an even smaller percentage of the population that can even attempt or even to try to be one of these people.
Nah, that's a lot that goes into.
And he got in there, and there's not that many black Rangers.
Yeah.
In the history, it's not even that many. It's not a lot of. There's more, but black Rangers. Mr. Johnson is one of those guys, and he told me, he said one of the main things that a lot of unfortunately a lot of black guys lost in the training was swimming, because the swimming is very, very hard.
Oh man,
it's very vigorous, and you have to do it with full gear.
Full gear, so the gear is wet, drenched. You got boots on. And then you're treading water while you holding, your warp rifle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, over your head. And I remember him as a kid training for this. Going to the pool and I'm swimming, flailing around, and he down at the deep end, with like a 10, 15-pound gun over his head, just treading water for like 30, 45 minutes.
My man seen this joint, yo. His pop's swimming in the pool in the deep end. With how much was the gun? How much it weighed?
I mean, because it was a replica, so it was like 15, 20 pounds.
15, 20 pounds over his head, treading water.
Overhead, man.
You know what I'm saying? That's what the Rangers got to do, man. But even how, they got the run in. You got aptitude tests. That's another thing. Rangers are intelligent.
Yeah.
You can't be a dummy and get into Ranger school, buddy.
Nah. He speaks, I think he's three or four different languages.
Man, come on, man. His pop speak 3 or 4 languages. He was coming through like Rambo at night, son. You know what I'm saying? He showed up to the game a few times. War paint on his face, bro. War paint on his face, fatigues.
Nah, Pops was, I mean, that was the thing that, like, even as a kid, he was a dedicated father, and he was dedicated to the military at that time. You know what I'm saying? Like, they had, like, company field days where
love the company field days.
They would barbecue so much food, and then they would have, like, physical fitness competitions, races.
And basketball contests.
Basketball, 3-on-3s, the tug of war, obstacle course. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Just a lot of testosterone. Sidebar, because it happened to me. He's not going to probably anyway. So, at this event, they had all types of interactive situations that you could have, right? Oh, man.
And so we were about 10 or 11, and they had all the guns.
Oh, my God.
All the guns on the table.
All
right?
the guns.
Empty. I'm doing my air quotes. And then Justin has it. We all mess with all the guns. And here you go. I'm like, bro. And I'm just like, just as a kid, I just freeze.
Oh.
And then the guy behind the table, hey, man, don't point that at anybody, because he was like paying attention to something else. I'm like, hey, did somebody tell him to get this gun off me? Like, for real, bro.
Oh, man.
And so the guy's, hey, man, don't do that. And it's like, take the gun off him. Do you remember this, Justin?
Yeah. I mean,
that was that company field day.
That was a company field day. Like I said, it's a made up situation for family by a lot of military dudes. Not too much thought through. You know what I'm saying? And then you got wild kids like me that's just like, just ready to engage.
Yeah, it was a cool time. There was a lot of cool families and kids out there.
Unlimited sodas.
We got
unlimited sodas.
It wasn't even just sodas. There was unlimited juices. Sodas, like
whatever.
Every kind of flavor. They had all the drinks. I was like, bro, it was like juice heaven. Mm-hmm. I swear, they was all ice cold in this giant bucket. They had every flavor. It was just remixing flavors. We was just out there, just cracked out on sugar.
For real, running around all day. And literally, like, we would be there for, I mean, not joking, like 7 hours, 6 hours.
Yeah.
Just playing basketball, going to see the different competitions and whatnot, just like with a squad of Rambos.
I wanted to go every year, man. Like, I used to be like, when they have a field day again. Yeah.
So,
because every company, because my pops field day, they wasn't the same. Every field day was.
Well, the special forces, like,
y'all
you know
was
what
lit.
I'm saying? Yeah,
that was a litty one.
The Ranger joint, you know, because you had like a lot of Samoans too, right? So they would have the roasted pigs.
No, it was a big deal. It was at this giant park somewhere, and it was just crazy.
It was wild, man. But that was good times, and again, happy birthday, Pops, man. I hope that. My next 20 years are as smooth as yours were. And I hope you enjoyed your weekend, man.
Yeah, Mr.
I love you, Pop.
Yeah, man, we love you. I love you, Mr. Johnson. You're a very inspirational dude to me. Yo, can we talk about him playing basketball with us since a kid?
Oh, my God, man. Yeah, we could get into that.
This guy helped make us tougher, helped make me tougher. Like, it was a point of time, I remember, like, as a little kid, right? When you playing basketball, you just kind of doing the ball like this or whatever, just exposing the ball. I remember specifically the moment in time where the light bulb went off because Mr. Johnson was like, take the ball! like, just literally just take it from him. He's like, oh. And you just snatched it from him. I was like, snatched the ball. I was like, oh.
I can
take the ball. Like,
I'm stronger than he is.
Yeah, it's literally that's that. And then next thing you know, we just taking the ball all the time and going off on fast breaks like a lot.
Yeah. No, my you know, because we grew up around a military base, and so that was like the first place that my father used to take us to play, and we would play with the younger guys for a while, and when we turned 13, we were able to play with the adults. Now, the thing about, like, my pops and the basketball and, you know, being 13, being able to play, like, the whole issue was just that it's a physical game, and he never wanted us to get hurt because he knew how serious we were about the game and, you know, what we wanted to do career-wise. Didn't want us to get injured. So anytime we would get fouled hard, he would foul that person as hard as he could. And several times, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, it would be about to go down, but, you know, Pops was just like, I mean, if you're going to wild out, I can wild out.
Well, for one, he's also like, I mean, he's trained to, like, no offense, you know, will get you out of here in a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
So,
martial arts.
Yeah.
Like
he knows the death. He said he knows the death touch.
Yeah. Like his wing chilling situation.
Yeah. Get out of here.
What is it called?
He also, huh?
I was about to say PowerPoint.
He also said he knows. He also said he knows how to survive in the woods.
Oh no, for sure.
Off of shrubbery and grubs and like ants.
Yes. Pops could live off the grid if he needed to.
Yeah, man.
And I mean, and that's, you know, why I think, like, you know, he does everything he does at a max level and needs minimal. You know what I'm saying, to get it done.
Mr. Johnson, whenever I do my major military movie, my joint, I'm gonna come holler at you, man. I'm gonna come holler at you when I come do my major military movie. I'm gonna consult you. All right.
We were just talking about this, like, over the past few years, like how the movies have gotten better because they have military consultants.
Yeah.
We just talked about this like 2 days ago. Because, I mean, you know, like I said, Pops, his favorite thing to do is watch action flicks. I told him earlier, man, enjoy some ice cream.
Yeah.
And watch an action flick. But,
you know,
they've gotten better, man, because they, you know, hollering at these soldiers. So, you know, he'll love that.
Yeah, for sure. The military training also, like, it just gets your mind so just tough and strong, man. The things that how they indoctrinate these guys into the program. I think it's really commendable, and especially you doing it not just for your own career, but I mean, you're doing it for your country as well, because I mean, however we feel about how these things are managed or whatnot, we need these guys.
For sure.
We need those guys. I feel like we definitely need those guys.
No, for
I
sure.
don't necessarily know we need the gigantic military budget that we have now.
But we need to specialize those to do what they do. And I mean, and even for them to have the type of love for the country that they're willing to go out and get this stuff done.
Yeah. I want to portray these guys for sure in movies. It's some of my favorite movies and people that I've seen. But they're real guys out, people, men and women, that out here on the ground, getting this stuff done.
Yeah.
For the country every single day. Honestly, putting their lives on the line. So I commend them for that. You know what I mean?
Most definitely. Cold
War. What do you think about? Okay. Let's dive into some business a little bit. All right. How do you feel about a Cold War, a cold business war? You understand what you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. So I mean so you're talking about maybe affecting your import export businesses?
Yeah, businesses also but things get competitive.
Mm-hmm.
Things get competitive in the game. What if somebody coming for your business? How do you Cold War and operate? You know what I'm saying? Because everybody not gonna be happy. Everybody ain't gonna wish you success, and some people gonna be envious and might throw some hate and some shade. As much as we don't want to really give it energy, it exists sometimes and it pop up. So
yeah, I mean the thing is especially with the businesses that I'm in, it's such a direct one-on-one situation where it's kind of hard for that to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then you just start to depend on your character and the relationship that you have between the people that you're doing business with. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because then they'll be able to peep the nonsense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like somebody to start talking crazy about me as an entrepreneur or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Taking the high road.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But and it's not you are taking the high road, but you still being strategic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And because you are breaking down the differences, have we ever done any, fugazi business?
Mm-hmm.
Right? But asking that question, they have to in turn wonder like, oh, okay, well, with this other party, have I? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it is a chess game.
Okay, well, how about this? Some things you're going to surprise you along the way, but certain protections ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
With chess, it's not necessarily about this move. It's about, several moves ahead, looking at the game plan, being able to complete the mission of taking somebody's king eventually. And so, so you're always looking at what you analyze what you did in the past so you can actually be better in the future in what you're doing. But whenever you're better at peeping or seeing certain things, complications along the way, you can get better. And so that's one thing about maturity, or people that are kind of geniuses, or people that are doing really special business and things are the ones that can see ahead.
Visionaries.
You can tell, yes, you can tell visionaries, you can tell the trends, things that are potentially roadblocks or things, pitfalls along the way.
Yeah.
So peeping that game, and so that's playing that type of game before you even have to run into certain problems.
Yeah. Because you think about it like Jay-Z and Dame, right? Anything regarding Rockefeller and what Rockefeller used to be, any issues with Jay-Z and whatnot, it all comes from Dame's side, right?
Yeah.
Jay-Z, his Cold War tactic is not to address it.
Mm-hmm.
And in a sense, it kind of gets wiped under the rug.
It doesn't get the attention or the energy because he doesn't feed it.
Nope. So, you know what I'm saying? Your tactics in Cold War, because it's not direct physical rah type war, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of mental games, chess moves.
Yeah, okay.
Paying attention to guys that maneuver like that. And Jay-Z has been the guy forever.
All right, so in a situation like that, maybe, okay, I'm not exactly sure what happened with Hov or Rockefeller clothing. I think did he sell his controlling? One of them sold the controlling stakes. So.
Well, like right when they were negotiating the deal, he said that he was leaving, which devalued the company because he's the main asset, right?
Yeah.
He said that he was leaving, and then that's when he did the Reebok deal.
Okay.
And so
the S. Carters, people went crazy for the S. Carters, by the way.
Yeah. So they had a number initially that they were going to sell for, and when he announced that he wasn't going to be involved anymore, then Rockefeller devalued, as a company.
So did Dame sell it? I think somebody still got something. One of the keys is if you can sell and still recoup royalties off of the company is the way to go if you can. Speaking of, Irv Gotti just did a deal. Did you see this $300 million deal that Irv Gotti did?
Yeah, was it like with Hulu or somebody?
I don't know, but he sold 50% of his stake in Murder Inc.'s publishing, which is strong. It was strong Murder Inc. publishing. And then plus they gave us like money for like production because he had some success with BET with some of his TV productions and things like that. So Irv Gotti is back in the mix after having a very cold war with the FBI.
Oh yeah, man, and 50 did his thing on that. Like, I mean, whatever involvement he had with getting the feds to shut down Murder Inc. Like,
I mean, they kind of got themselves to get shut down. They had a bit of a target on their back already. They were doing business with notorious, infamous gangster, Supreme McGriff. So it already put eyes on them as if they may have been money laundering or something like that.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, and that's how they get you. You know what I'm saying? That's how they got the mobsters back in the day. It's not about the crimes that they could prove as far as the murders or whatever or any type of physical violence. But it's all about, you know what I'm saying, that paperwork on your bread.
Yeah, and I also think that naming their company Murder Inc. was thumbing their noses at the FBI and the establishment as well, because the FBI was in direct opposition of Murder Inc. And Murder Inc. is the most prolific killing for hire group in American history. So where you just name, I look at it from other aspects. Okay, Murder Inc. All right, cool, hip hop culture, but like in the actuality, Murder Inc. was responsible of hundreds and maybe thousands of deaths in America by ordered hits. That's what Murder Inc. really is. You name your music record label this. Yeah. The FBI were the people that were trying to catch Murder Inc. and catch the. Murder Inc. was formed primarily of 4 Jewish hitmen.
Now that's crazy.
Jewish hitmen.
Oh man, unsuspected.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Yep. For the syndicate, the national syndicate. But that's what Murder Inc. is. So you thumb your nose at them, you rocking with Supreme. I don't know what the heck happened with 50 and them, and so they got put under. And then you see they changed the name of the company to the Inc.
Yeah, for sure.
They changed it to the Inc. You took the murder out of it because the connotation of the murder, they was like, nah, we murder on wax, we murder on records. Like,
yeah, it sounds good.
How they don't know here.
Yeah,
is that Murder Inc.? I'm not sure. It's just those guys killed like 900 guys like in 1920, bro. Like,
I dig it.
Died for decades, actually.
And I dig him getting the money, but you know what I'm saying, I ain't a big fan of Irv Gotti. I respect what he's done.
I respect the bounce back.
Yeah, for sure, the bounce back. He lost me with the whole Ashanti thing.
And then some other stuff. I don't know what happened with the Drink Champs. Something happened with the Drink Champs, and he was disrespectful to Ashanti and all that. Super. Speaking of his publishing, he owed Ashanti a lot of love for the publishing.
He should, and she deserved all of it.
Yeah, Ja Rule said he ain't in it, man. He said he felt like Irv Gotti, what he did and said was disrespectful.
It was 20 years, like she's probably in a relationship. No matter if she is or not, I'm sure she's moved on, and so he just kept talking about like a whole bunch of nonsense, which was inappropriate, and it was disrespectful. So I don't mess with him. And I mean, that was always borderline anyway. You know what I'm saying? With him, I mean, there's so many other guys producer wise that are, to me, beyond him. So
yeah.
But
I mean, yeah. I mean, but he also did not, and he also gave himself the last name Gotti.
I think Hov gave him that name.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so he getting into the mafia and all that, because that's you talking about like Cold Wars or like straight up wars and all of that, man. Like, I'm very versed in like mafia culture, for sure, and just things that like getting done that necessarily like the public doesn't like always see. Influence things. A lot of things get influenced. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't make the news.
For sure.
Influential situations that happen.
Well, I mean, because
they make the news, but you don't really know exactly why.
Yeah, you
the
can't
motivation
put the
behind it. Yeah, what was the motivation behind it?
Yeah, but nah, I agree. Well, nah, man, I think we got it for Cold War, man. We've given you different scenarios, examples, and we kind of covered it all. Yeah,
and Mr. Johnson, 60th birthday. So I was thinking about earlier. Remember movies for guys that like movies?
Yes.
Movies for guys that like movies.
Rambo, The Predator, and Rambo 2. Rocky.
Oh!
Just all day long. I think it was like TBS or TNT.
Yo, man, just
he's the epitome of that.
War movies all day long. Braveheart, you know what I'm saying?
Oh man,
all of that, man.
You know it.
All right, man. Godspeed. Go in peace, y'all.
Love you, Pops.
Yes, Raw coming at your door. Start to scream out loud. Wu-Tang's back for more.